So Alexander the Great went in and took over Egypt, and he destroyed the temple. They just razed that ancient temple to the ground in Heliopolis. But before he did that, they took all the books, and they took them to Alexandria, Egypt, and they built another temple there, and they put all those books in there. But you see, that ancient wisdom was destroyed by the Catholic Church in 295 AD. So we don't have that knowledge. But you see, Plato, Hippocrates, and those people, they learned that wisdom which came from the ancient Egyptians and the priesthoods that go all the way back to Enoch in the Bible, who was given all this wisdom. Remember, it says in the Bible he walked with God? He did. If you read the Sumerian tablets, it says he walked with the gods that came to the earth, and they took him back to the planet Nibiru, and they taught him all this ancient wisdom, astrology and medicine. And this ancient wisdom was handed down. But here's the deal, friends. This is the most amazing thing. Even though they've tried to take this away from us, it's still with us. Isn't that amazing? It's still with us. Go to Walmart and go to the aisle that's called the spices. Nowadays, we're like, spices. What do we do with that? You know, younger generation, they don't use spices. Right? Mom, she used some spices, but mostly she did it because her mom told her to do it. Like, well, we're Italians. We got to put this, that, your thing, and oregano. But, you know, some of it's for flavor. But a lot of it's not even just for flavor, friends. This isn't why. You know that in every culture in the world, they use these same spices exactly in a way that they couldn't even possibly know. But it was handed down to them as ancient wisdom. But they use some sort of spice that is inflammatory and is healthy. And without that spice, without that herb, they'd probably die from the food they're eating. Mexicans put chilies in everything. Chili powder. Did you know that chilies is an anti-inflammatory? It's a medicine. And that's why they put so much in there. They don't know why, but that's just tradition, because the ancient ones knew that they needed to be well. They needed medicine. And the food they were eating wasn't great. They had to live out in the wild, and they didn't get enough good food, so they had to eat some kind of herb for their healing. Same thing with the Italians. They use garlic in all their food, and onions. In Europe, they use a lot of garlic and onions. It's in the Bible. They used to take the garlic and the onions with them, the Israelites. And they just saturate their food with that garlic because it kills funguses and viruses and bacteria, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So they put it on everything. In India, they use curry, which isn't just really one herb. They put a lot of different herbs in their food. They make a certain... Each kind of food that they use in India has a different little kind of variety of spice to it. But they use a lot of turmeric and cumin and some other spices. In China, they use ginger and a lot of other things that we all know about, the Chinese herbs and the healing and all of that. Well, they use it in all their food. And we did, until recently, we ate all this stuff and we were healthier. But now you go to the McDonald's and where you get salt, that's not an herb, friends. Actually, salt is a misnomer, because the word salt originally just meant minerals. And that was a good thing. You know, so why we give our cows salt? If we didn't give it to them, they'd die. But you're not giving your cows sodium chloride. You're giving your cows minerals. And minerals are good for you. It's like sea salt. That's good for you. But if you just have sodium chloride, which tastes like salt, tastes like the other minerals, kind of has a real strong salty taste, but it's not salt, it's sodium. What you need is all the minerals in your food. So today, most people, they just use salt. That's it. Maybe a little pepper. Pepper's good for you. But, you know, because of the Mexican people here in America, we're using a lot of chilies. We've always used a lot of onions, but we're really not eating enough onions and stuff. Most people take the onions off their hamburger. But we've lost sight of this. But if you go to Walmart and you look up on that spice rack, you'll see they've even got organic spices. $3.97 for a bottle. They got cumin, uh, turmeric, ginger, cloves, cinnamon, fennel. Have you ever had fennel? Oh my goodness, that's the most amazing herb in the world. Usually it comes in they don't grind it or anything. It usually comes in the form of these seeds. So I take it and I put it in a processor at home and grind it up to a powder so I can get more out of it. But that fennel tastes like black licorice. I love it. Black licorice tea is just awesome, and it's good for you. Licorice is very, very good for you. But fennel is just the same thing. It's tastes just like licorice, but it's really good for you. It's good for your stomach. And friends, I want you to understand, we've been misinformed. All these herbs, they're not just, they're good for you. Have a little herb. No, these things will cure cancer. If you drink, I did a video a while back about ginger curing cancer. Well, it's not just ginger. Turmeric and all these cloves and all this stuff together cures cancer. But it cures everything. If you got liver trouble, cirrhosis of the liver, you can cure it with turmeric, cloves, cinnamon, all of these, fennel seed. It's very important, friends, that you start getting these herbs in your system. You can make a tea out of it and drink 2 or 3 cups every day. I'm drinking some right now. I drink it by the quart. It'll cure you of everything. It'll make you young. It'll turn back time. Fix your liver. If you fix your stomach and your liver, you fixed your whole body. That's where it all starts. If your liver can't break down food to its ionic level and get your nutrition into the body, you're not going to get fed. And on top of that, if it's not breaking it down, it's just sludge, clogging up all your arteries and causing cancer and breaking down your immune system. And then you start getting candidus, and it starts growing everywhere, and you get parasites, and there's 1,000 things that happen, but it all starts in your stomach. And this cures the pH balance. This is an anti-inflammatory. Start off with ginger and turmeric, cumin and cinnamon and cloves and fennel seed, and just look this stuff up. Go to Walmart. This doesn't cost hundreds of dollars. This doesn't cost tens of dollars. This doesn't even cost, it's $3.97 for a bottle of just any kind you want. Organic ginger, $3.97, and that's going to last you a lot longer than going and getting ginger tea, which you don't even know what's in there. This is organic, pure ginger. And you can go to the store and buy ginger root. Get you a cheese grater and grate the ginger up and make tea with fresh ginger. But I buy the organic powdered stuff at Walmart because it's pure, it's organic, and it's real. But I keep it with me, and if I go on trips, I pour a little in my coffee. If you're a big coffee drinker, put some turmeric in there. There's cayenne pepper in there. There's all kinds of stuff. And I know it sounds bad, but it really isn't bad at all. And it'll turn your coffee into a brew that will save your life. Drink that tea every day, and cut back on the coffee. And start using more of the ginger and the turmeric, the cinnamon. Cinnamon will help if you have diabetes. But I just want to make sure that you all understand, this is not child's play. This is the ancient wisdom. This is ancient medicine. The drugs that the doctors are giving you are killing you, friends. They're going to kill you. They're not going to cure you. They're going to kill you. And I guarantee you cannot survive. You cannot get well. The only thing they can do, I'm going to tell you a little story before I go. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how, well, because I was watching this stupid commercial, it comes on all the time, where they're just begging for money, and, and it's not going to send some more money, because all these children are dying, and they got cancer, and it makes me sick inside that they use these poor, dying children to make money. They know they cannot cure cancer, but they got these children going in there. Let me tell you something. If you had cancer, it's a known fact that a certain percentage of the people who have cancer will get well on their own. They'll just go into remission by themselves. Now let's say it's 50-50. That's about what it is. 10 people get cancer and 5 of them will just get well on their own. They'll just get better. Alright, well, if you go and you got cancer, you can go to the doctor, and he does radiation or whatever else, the odds that you're going to get better are slightly less than if you did nothing. Did you know that? Don't send your money to that commercial, that St. Jude's Hospital or whatever it is. Do not send your money there. You're wasting your money, and you're filling the pockets of fat cats who are taking your money and duping the world. And they're using these poor, innocent children to do it. There are several things about cancer. If you get cancer from diet, you can change that, and you can fix it, and you can cure it. Ginger and turmeric and all these other herbs that you can buy at Walmart for $4, they'll cure it. Drink a lot of it, take a lot of it, drink 2 or 3 glasses like this every day, and it'll cure it. It'll fix your liver, it'll fix your heart, it'll fix everything. I guarantee it. Do some research, friends. But if you go into the doctor and you take their drugs, you're probably going to get sicker. And if they cure, well, they call it a cure when they radiated your lung out of your chest, right? In other words, they cut it out with radiation. Well, now you can't breathe very well. You only got one lung. And then you're going to get, now your liver's half functioning, and you can't hardly breathe, and you can't think, and now you got on some medication that's making you have the runs, and we could go on and on. They're killing you. It's torture. You're going to be in the hospital for a long time, and all you need to do, if it's diet caused, which most cancers really are caused from a bad diet, is change your diet, friends. Start eating the fruit that grows on the plants that our Father in heaven created. And use the leaves for your healing, like the Bible tells you to do. And those ancient herbs are still there. You can buy them at Walmart. Isn't that amazing, friends? Organic, pure ginger, organic, pure herbs, right in a little bottle. Just shake it, put it in your tea. Drink several cups of that a day, and you're going to get better. You've been an alcoholic? Stop drinking and start taking turmeric, and add cloves and cinnamon and all these other fennel seed and everything to your put a little honey in it. See, the fennel seed is kind of sweet. That's why I love it. It tastes like licorice. So you don't really have to add a lot of sugar. Now, I wouldn't add any sugar. If you're going to have something in your tea, put a little honey. But if you like sweet, use fennel seed. And it's very good for digestion. Very good for your heart. Most of these seeds do the same thing. All of them do kind of the same thing. They're all inflammatory usually. And a lot of them just have a lot of healing effect upon your digestive system, which is what cures you, friends. If you're not digesting your food right, if your stomach's all out of whack, and your liver and your pancreas and your kidneys, then you're going to die. You're going to get cancer. These toxins are going to get into your system. So this is how you cure yourself. You go back to eating fruit. Comes off a plant. You cut out white flour completely out of your diet, and white sugar, salt. I just talked to a doctor the other day. This is insane, friends, that these people that go to college for 8 years, they don't know nothing. And I talked about salt and how you should take it out of your diet, and she's, oh, you're crazy. You silly people, she says. Don't you know that salt is water soluble, she said. It goes right through you. It just goes right out the other side. It doesn't hurt you. Friends, she was wrong, and she was a doctor. Don't go by doctors. They don't know what they're talking about, friends. Go by the ancient Egyptian teachings in the Sumerian tablets, friends, in the Bible, in Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12, and Revelation 22:2. And so, friends, that's all I got to say. And I hope you guys take my counsel and go to Walmart and get you some herbs. And this here's David Vos, and I'm going to sign out, and you guys have a great day.